Well, welcome back to All Things Nerdy with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate. That's Joe. And this is our second week in a row. I'm very proud of us. Let's go, Joe. We went from doing it every week consistently, even when I was traveling around the world in Europe, to a massive break to now 2 weeks in a row is being celebrated. Crushing it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So I'm so excited. We're going to finish the topic of last week, and I convinced Joe to drop what he was reading because those books sucked. Read the book that I was reading, and we get to talk specifically about that book. So, Joe, let's kick it off. Do your thing.
Okay. To clarify a few things. One, well, I wore this just for this Basquiat War College. So if you've read the Fourth Wing series, you know I'm representing. Two, I had already basically finished the main point of the series. The book I was reading was like a wrap-up book where it just kind of ties up loose ends. So it wasn't really that like enthralling anyway. But I did start reading Quicksilver. So without further ado, let's talk nerdy.
I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this. So look, I'm going to nerd out a little bit. I'm kind of excited. I've enjoyed listening to this book. I feel bad saying I read it because I haven't read a damn thing. I've literally not looked at a word. Okay, so listening to this book has been so good. The voice actors on the audiobook are great. Although there's one dude who has like a Scottish accent. Where does that come from? Nobody knows, right? But it's there. Ren.
Wait. Ren is a Scottish accent?
Dude, it's thick. It's thick. I guess because they want to distinguish the difference between like Kingfisher and Ren. So they're like, oh, what do we do? One accent's the easiest thing.
An accent will make sure.
Bro, the first time he hopped in, I was like, where did this come from? Because it just doesn't fit at all. But
it's so funny.
It is so good. It's kind of weird. It's kind of funny that you don't know that, but I guess you're actually like eyes the paper reading it, or kindling it. But for me, like I hear the voices, it's just I have like an image of what I think they look like. I can like put their voice to it and everything.
That is a step that listening probably adds. You get to tie a voice to the character.
And not all
like just voices in my head. Yeah, some are just like just one author reads everything, but it's kind of cool that some have that the differentiation between voices and stuff.
Yeah, this one does. The audiobook, they have like a woman for Ceres, a person for Kingfisher, a person for Ren, and stuff like that. Even the Fire Sprite, they had a different voice actor for this Fire Sprite and all that stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I love it. I do not think I could listen to a book where it was a singular voice doing the whole thing. I think that would throw me off. If it was a woman being like, it's sir, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
well, if they tried to change their voice to sound like a man, then yeah, that'd probably be off-putting. But if they just read it as like, in the author tone, like just clear and basically like it would be in your head, right? Like you're just kind of reading the book as they're reading the book.
I don't know.
In my head, I give them different voices. Like I guess I can't necessarily say them out like mimic them of how they sound in my head. Definitely not Scottish. Was not thinking that route.
What did you think Ren sound like?
A big, giant, grumbly male, like just tough, scruff. Not Scottish. Scottish isn't a thing where they're at. They're in a foreign, like they're in a fantasy fae land. So
it's actually very nice, and he has like a softer tone, which is weird, right? He is kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but the difference between reading it and listening to it, just hearing this is kind of cool.
So I don't know if this is right. You haven't really touched on. How am I forgetting the main character's name? Kingfisher.
Kingfisher, Ceres.
Kingfisher in my head sounds like a grumpy old, like growly, gravelly old dude. Like that's so in my head. Like so he's always growling, that kind of thing.
In my mind, it's just Henry Cavill playing The Witcher. Literally, they're coming out with. I think they're coming out with a series to this. If they don't freaking cast Henry Cavill and be like, look, it's The Witcher, but instead you're Fae instead of a Witcher, right? Like it's the same magic, all kinds of. It's literally the same thing. And the way she describes Kingfisher, I'm just like, that's Henry Cavill. I will say the biggest misjustice of all of this is the picture of the person on the front that they have as Kingfisher looks like a child, right? And then you put the way he talks, the way he acts, everything. Here, I can show it to you. I'll pull it from all that stuff is just weird.
Oh yeah, because he looks young right there.
Yeah, but he's like 1,500 years old, which is fine. They age differently, but the way she describes him is not that.
I mean, it's more manly than that.
Much more. That looks like a child. That looks like a kid, right? But the way she describes him and stuff, like, I just think Henry Cavill, 100%. Like, that is who it is.
Yeah. I haven't seen The Witcher, so I'm not, like, I can't put that. I know who Henry Cavill is.
You haven't watched The Witcher? Witcher season 1 is really good. After that, it doesn't matter if you watch it or not.
I'll have to add it to the list. There's like, if you type in Quicksilver characters on Google Images, there's a few that look way more like what she describes. I guess like fan art, stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like they maybe missed the mark on the cover, because he does look really young. He doesn't look like
manly or rugged or
like as what is it, pained, or like he's been through a lot,
again, looks like a child. But
so you asked me how I liked the book, right? Like, you recommended it, you said you were enjoying it. Well, I finished it already.
Jesus, Joe. First off, I take my recommendations very serious, so I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I don't recommend anything unless I stand on it, right? Yeah. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. But where do you have the time, Joe? Where you make me feel bad. So look, I started reading this before, Joe. I'm on chapter 17. Now look, I work remotely. I'm not in my car a lot. I only listen to it when I'm in my car going somewhere. And the furthest I drive is like 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to volleyball if there's traffic, right? So I don't listen to a ton. But Joe, how do you finish it in like a week? You have kids, you have jobs, you have all the things.
Was it a week? Yeah, it was a week, wasn't it? Because I hadn't started it last Thursday. I finished it. I finished it last night, so I guess it was right at a week. But I just don't sleep, I guess. Like, I read into the wee hours of the morning, that kind of thing. I don't know. If the book is good, I will continue to read it until like I'm falling asleep with the Kindle on my face, kind of thing.
Bro, so I had to. Have I shown you? I showed you my little bed leg thing, right? Yeah. So I have that. Man, that saved me from taking the phone to the face so many times for falling asleep watching anime. Like, I put it up there and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I guess I was whooped. That's what you need. Steph has it for her Kindle. You know how often she falls asleep and I'll reach over and just like push it out of her face?
Well, I have it. There's a little strap on the back of it, and I was just like, I will be reading it, and then just like eventually, just I'll have had enough and fall asleep. But
all right, so no spoilers past chapter 17. I told you where I am. I don't want you spoiling anything. Right?
You're not even into the thick of it yet. Like, nothing even good has happened.
What do you mean? Nothing good. There's been a lot of good.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. A lot of cool stuff has happened up to chapter 17. We're gonna say spoilers for anyone listening, just not to chapter 17. I guess we're gonna turn this into like a Quicksilver book club, basically.
Yeah.
Until we finish it up. But
yeah, I offered to go like by like 5 chapters by 5 chapters, and Joe was like, "That'll take forever." I didn't realize there's like 50 chapters.
Yeah, I don't think there's quite 50, but there are a lot of chapters. Let me see how many. Quicksilver. I'm going to Google how many chapters are in Quicksilver. Maybe we should do like 10 chapters at a time. But you would have to start 45 chapters is how many chapters.
So, I mean, that's a month and a half. We could do that. I could start getting through 10 chapters a week.
Yeah, and you're already 17 chapters in, so you're almost.
Yeah, next week I'll hit chapter 20. That's real.
And then you gotta I gotta get 10 chapters in before the next podcast.
I might have to start just driving around, just willy nilly, circling my house.
And then we're also going to bring on guests and stuff too. Like we could probably potentially bring on a guest as like a and let them talk about what they like. Maybe like a change of subject. Give you a little time to catch up with reading.
I do think I could convince my wife, because she works night shifts on Thursdays and she doesn't start till like 3. There is a chance that I could convince my wife to be a guest. Now, she has stood adamantly on that she does not want to be a guest on our cast, right? That she doesn't feel like she gets to add, but this, she could talk about this.
And she's the reason that we are talking about this currently. Like, she recommended to you.
She didn't recommend it. She said, I do the shit that you want, so now you need to do the shit that I want. Go read this book.
Exactly. So she forced you to read it.
Kindly. She didn't force me. She recommended. And then if I wanted to read Dungeon Crawler Carl, shout out to Keaton, I had to read this one first. But it turns out I actually really enjoy this one.
There's a Brimstone as a sequel that has... So you have to read. You can't just read Quicksilver and then jump to the next one. You're gonna have to read Brimstone.
Yeah, I'm gonna read both. I've already told Steph I would read both. We're essentially just gonna create a in the house book club where we just read the same books. But she goes a lot faster. She also reads at night when we're laying down. She has her Kindle. I have my anime, or I'm just asleep. But she reads. She's like you, Joe. She's a menace. She reads until late in the night.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I could convince Melanie to jump on the Quicksilver bandwagon and come on and talk about it.
Yeah. So up to chapters. Let's talk about the beginning of the book, Joe.
Yeah.
What was it that caught you? When did you know, like, okay, this is solid?
So, dude, honestly, within the first couple pages, I could tell the writing was really well. I came from reading the Zodiac Wolves, where like the Zodiac Wolves was okay. Like I liked it. I enjoyed reading the book, but
Steph said it sucked, just for everybody knows.
Well, the writing itself, like I guess Callie Hart as an author, her writing style is really like really good, however you say that. But like just the beginning where like it sets up the whole scene of like she's literally on this life-threatening, mission basically to get some water, because her ration of water was 8 ounces a day. I think
6, not 6 even ounces. 6 ounces.
6
That's
ounces
a shower,
of water
everything
for all water. And then you come to find out that the water that they even get is like the runoff from the other cities, which
is not even filtered. It's graded.
It's running through. So they're getting just nasty, gunky, diseased sewage. Like they're getting the worst of the worst water because they're in like the 3rd ward or whatever. And just how it's set up of like this character has been through some shit. Like, and I gotta read how she gets through this.
Yeah. Bro, the first interaction, holding her up off the ground by her throat and like her still talking shit. Like I was like, okay, yes, I could get behind this. Yeah. Like the guard is sitting there like this, right? And just talking about how she's a dog, and all that stuff. And she's just giving it right back. That's when I was like, this is my kind of pettiness. If you're gonna go, I'm gonna hurt you. Or if you're gonna get me, if I'm gonna get Guy, I'm gonna hurt your feelings on the way. And that's when she was there, I was like, okay.
You're gonna remember me. You're gonna remember me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then soon she says what ward she's from, and he's like, oh, like throws his glove off, and she's like,
snatches,
man. And then scales this. I can't even like think of how big this wall is in my head, but apparently just scales this gigantic, like Great Wall of China, basically, like climbing it with a gauntlet, like wearing this gauntlet, this oversized, that kind of stuff. I was like, all right, this character's a badass. Like,
dude, she is a bad. I will say she's kind of complaining. I'm not gonna lie. She questions a lot. She complains a lot. But she is a badass. She does not care, dude. All right, we fast forward a little bit. Her brother's
pause. Well, yeah, but pause right there. That where you said she's complaining. She complains a lot. You know what it reminds me of? Every main character in anime. like basically crying. Like Deku's always crying, but he's a badass, but he's always crying and whining.
Well, she's
Black
not
Clover.
whining. She's literally
Black
just
Clover's main character, always angry, yelling at everyone. Like it's like a trope almost. And I'm like,
it is like a trope. She literally
Is
questions.
this like one of the tropes? Like,
But for
is
you
it
to
kind of
understand
like-
the context of the world, she's got to question everything, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
a lot of the context and the relationships and stuff would lack substance, right? Like her questioning shows you the disdain, the distrust, and all that. Like it's a really cool way of showing and developing the character without just being like, oh, and she distrusts him, right? Like it's so well done.
Yeah,
but she is very complaining.
And her brother is a giant dumbass. And then, she steals the gauntlet, runs off to the tavern where she like finds her brother like beaten to a pulp with broken ribs, stuff like that. And it's, of course, she has to storm in there and be the big sister, that kind of thing. And she gives him one job. She's like,
one job.
She's like, dude, just wait here. Just sit here for a minute. Let me go get your scarf back. Basically, like, then she comes out, he's gone. And I'm like, well,
with
here
the
we
gauntlet.
go with the gauntlet. Doesn't even like, my mind was like, did he open the bag and was like, oh, I'm gonna go sell this, or was he just stupid? Like, oh, I'm bored. I'm just gonna try.
I think he's just spoiled. He's entitled. He's never had any repercussions because of Saris, right? And like he just didn't understand what he was holding, and when he realized, he's like, oh God, right? But then that leads us into the second part of Saris being an absolute badass, right? And it's quick too.
Yeah, and that was what, like, after that, I was like, all right, I'm hooked. Like, so she finds her brother because there's screaming going on. She knows, runs straight toward the screaming. Her brother's, surrounded by guards, has the gauntlet. They're about to, like, basically murder him for stealing the gauntlet.
Spoilers,
yeah. I mean, I said at the beginning, like, there's going to be spoilers in this.
Yeah, we're breaking this book down chapter by chapter, by 5 chapters at a time.
Yeah, so what was it, 5 or 10? I don't know.
We said 5-ish.
We'll see where we get to, I guess. I'm not even sure what chapter this is at this point. Probably 2 or 3. It's still in
the first chapter, man. We haven't made it past the first chapter, I don't think. It might be the second chapter. Maybe the second chapter. Because I think the first chapter is the gauntlet chase, and then the second chapter is Carrion in the bar. And I think it ends at the guards.
Okay, so we're probably like chapter 3 or so, like getting to like where she's attacked by the guards, or like tries to save her brother. And dude, like, she just, it's like, oh well, guess what? She's also been trained her entire life in how to kill guards and knows exactly where the weak points are in their armor and all this stuff, and like has just this little dagger, and is just, but also back to the writing style, like how the author is describing, like, one of the guards just has a different look to their face, and is obviously better than the others, has that kind of like that I'm going to kill you, versus the other two are like cocky and like how she describes the different guards coming at her. I was like, wow, all right. Yeah. I really appreciate how this author sets like the whole, like, everything up, basically.
Dude, going back, the banter between her and Carrion, right? And like the back and forth, and like her recalling their actions and making you understand that, like, she's a woman, she's got urges, she's got needs, right? And, and Carrion came through one night. She regrets it, but it happened.
Does she? I don't think she regrets it as much as she's embarrassed that he keeps bringing it up.
I think it's a combo of both. But nonetheless, that banter, the back and forth, and her still, like, even just to his face, like, fuck you, bro, I'll gut you, I don't care.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be one of the baddest people in the whole war. And she's like, bro, come at me, I got you.
Yeah. He's like the ringleader, basically, of the war. Like, and she's like, yeah, I'll slit your throat right here, or and then in her mind, she's like, he's the only one that's ever made me scream their name. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Carrion's a badass, and he's a badass.
Yeah.
But like the banter, the descriptions, it's just good. It just pulls you in from literally second one, right? You're just like, okay, this is adult, this is fun, this is cool, this is Like it's up tempo, it doesn't drag. There's not a lot of like low times. The character development, the plot, the story, the world building is all done so well with like context clues. It's not boring. It's not like, well, let me describe the world to you. It's all just in passing that you understand it. So it makes the flow of the book so quick and so fluid. It's well done.
Yeah.
And then all right, let's jump. We got 5 minutes. We both have a hard stop at 3. So let's jump from there, right? So she's fighting the guards. And they're kind of like, they thought she was a joke. They're like going one at a time. And then finally the leader's like, all right, you've gutted a couple. Now it's my turn, right? Yeah. And this dude, he's a badass, but he kind of respects her, right? And that's kind of cool. You see that. So when you flash forward to the prison, spoilers, you flash forward to the prison. And the way he's talking about Madra, and he's like, hey, like, just endure it. You just scream for me, right? It's like, you're like, damn, that's fucked up. He's like, I'm going to have to stab you, right? Like, this going to really suck for you, but I need you to, like, play it up, right? Like, you're going to die, but, like, I need you to act like this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your life.
Yeah, it's like, he's still kind of enjoying it because, like, he wouldn't be there, but it's like he respects her and like how he respects her enough to be like, I want to make this quick for you, but you're still gonna have to scream. I'm still gonna have to make you scream, but I'm gonna make it quicker than if I didn't respect you. Basically, like normally he'd drag it out and all kind of stuff like that, but and also like up until this point, like as far as magic goes, we've had like one little hint, right? Like when she was climbing the wall and the gauntlet started like reverberating or whatever, and she was like, not now. And she's like, pushes it out of her mind, that kind of thing. So far as fantasy type world, like we've only had that one little like snippet of magic, but the world building is so good. Like it doesn't even matter. Like,
yeah, you don't even really think about it. Like I remember the gauntlet doing that, but I just in my mind I was just like, okay, whatever, go on.
Yeah, but so like we don't even know like how this book is about to just explode into like magic and fantasy realm and stuff like that, because right now it's just all about survival, like make it like just literally trying to get water to stay alive and not die. So but it's definitely a good book, and I guess we got like two minutes left, so but I guess we'll be back next week to talk a little further about kind of how the story progresses and our thoughts on the book and stuff like that. And I guess we'll go, I guess, as far as time allows, because what did we get, like 3 or 4 chapters this time? But it seemed to go by really fast.
The further we go, the more we have to talk about. Like, we haven't fully gotten into the interaction with Madra yet. We haven't gotten to Avelia yet, the Fae, the Van. Like, we got so much to talk about next week. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's all the different characters she meets and stuff like that. So, but awesome. Well, I know we have a hard stop, so thank you everyone for watching, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, take care, Joe. Have a good one. Thanks, everybody.
See you.
See y'all.